Hi, I'm Harley Eisman.
And I'm Joanne Miller-Eisman, and we're the founders of the Hereditary Breast and Ovarian Cancer Foundation. It was just over 7 years ago that my sister, Marla Miller-Gross, died of breast cancer. It was through her illness that we learned about hereditary breast and ovarian cancer and about the BRCA gene, which I also carry. We decided, therefore, to start HBOC to help others who also had to deal with the questions that we had, and we wanted to encourage research worldwide.
As Joanna said, for the past 7 years, HBOC has been successful in promoting our initiatives locally. Thankfully, our message and our initiatives have spread regionally, nationally, and internationally, as evidenced by our extremely successful scientific symposium, the last one which occurred in October 2009. With your help, we've been able to raise over $1 million for our initiatives.
In addition, we'd like to thank the Guzzo family for welcoming us into their cinema year after year for 7 years straight. We are deeply indebted to them for helping us to create this charity.
Good evening. I'm Joanna Kubo-Silver, co-chair of the 2010 HBOC Evening Gala. And it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 7th annual In Our Genes, For Our Genes event. The combined efforts of our entire team have resulted in a wonderful achievement this evening and throughout the year. It demonstrates the commitment of HBOC's mission to create awareness, education, support, and research for hereditary breast and ovarian cancer. We would like to wish all of our volunteers a warm congratulations and our deepest gratitude to all of our sponsors for their continued support and generosity. Joanne and I hope all of you enjoy this very special evening.
Well, it's the only charity we do this for. I mean, there's very few charities that, first of all, have come up with this kind of idea, and second of all, that we would literally support. Most of the other charities are professional fundraising, basically, and so they take a cut of it and so forth and so forth. So we try not to. We try to give back to community events where all of the funds go 100% to the community.
I was diagnosed with the BRCA2 gene December 17th, 2008. My sweet children also have a 50% chance of inheriting it from me. This breaks my heart more than having to go through any surgery.
I never heard of the gene. No one ever mentioned it to me. No one. In 11 years of being in and out of hospitals.
The medical options for women who test positive, unfortunately, is removal of the organs that are at risk. This sounds brutal, it sounds harsh, but this is the best option because once the organ is removed, it cannot form a cancer.
As I sit on the balcony in the springtime sun and I read back on what I've already written, I quickly flash to tomorrow at 1 p.m. when I'm scheduled for my next surgery. My heart races. I know that the second part of my journey is beginning tomorrow, and I'm afraid.
My experience as a breast cancer patient was frightening. It was terrorizing. You felt very alone and isolated, and if you don't know the questions to ask, no one is going to give you information.
There's no reason to delay this because each day I'm taking a chance that cancer will get me. I hope when this is all done that I will feel whole again. I believe that I will, but it'll take time. I believe that I'll come out of this a survivor. I believe that you would be proud of me for what I'm doing, even though at your young ages you're not able to comprehend. I believe that life is worth living, and I'm strong and powerful. I'm gonna do this, and I will no longer live with the fear of worry. I will be there for you both.
The importance of an organization like HBOC is that it's determined to make life better for women who have the genetic abnormality.
Quand on parle d'enlever les ovaires, en fait, ce qu'on parle surtout, c'est d'enlever les trompes de Fallot.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres conséquences par rapport à ça? Je sais que quand
One of the most challenging issues that we face with ovarian cancer is there is no screening for ovarian cancer. And by the time patients have symptoms, it's too late in the game. So the only way that we can impact on the outcome of ovarian cancer is by finding it before it gives symptoms.
The role of genetic testing is to determine who actually carries a gene mutation in the family and who doesn't. And if we know that, we can then focus our resources on those individuals in the family who have inherited the gene mutation.
The role of the HBOC in my diagnosis has been the most helpful. If it wasn't for Laura and everybody involved with the HBOC, I don't think that I would have had such a smooth, easy journey.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
So these are your appointments for the coming year. Now that you've had your ovaries removed, we're going to do a baseline bone mineral density.
Having Laura Hayes in my life would have made everything a lot easier and not as traumatic. And knowing that somebody is there to help take care of you on a personal, intimate setting is huge.
Basically, once patients have been identified as a gene mutation carrier by a genetic counselor and a geneticist, their chart is handed over to me, and I manage the care. The testing can get a little bit exhausting for them. They have appointments here and there, so I manage all the testing. I make the appointments. I make sure they get to their appointments. I just try and fix everything so they have a normal life. They can count on me, and that's what I do.
She was there to get me through those, just scheduling and coordinating results.
And how did you learn about the gene?
Oh, well, as I said, it was from a family member, and I was presented with the option to test or not to test.
But how did you learn about the gene?
I didn't know about the gene until HBOC.
I had a full physical and emotional support system provided to me by the HBOC, which, having dealt with hospitals before, isn't always the case. I really felt like I wasn't just a number, I was a person. I am a person.
The level of knowledge for GPs and general gynecologists about these tests, unfortunately, is very poor. So that's why it is our responsibility to continue and educate people in whatever way we can to make sure that the knowledge goes up.
Ouch, I have lost myself again.
My future hopes for medical research in this area is that we get better at identifying these gene defects.
Maybe in the near future, there'll be other options. We won't need to worry about surgery. And until then, HBOC needs to just keep on doing what it's doing, which is just providing funds and support and research so that my children won't need to go through a preventative mastectomy and a preventative hysterectomy in order to decrease their odds of getting cancer.
We want to be ahead of the game, and the only way to get ahead of the game is to find molecular markers, requiring research, requiring collaboration between all of us and your support.
Having the HBOC Foundation is a privilege for the medical profession, and it's of enormous help to patients.
Yes, I feel blessed that I've met you all and that now I have options, that I know who to call and I know who to get in touch with.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge saves your lives. The people who choose to do nothing are the ones who are afraid of having to come to terms with the possibility of knowing that cancer could be in their family.
It makes it easier, not as traumatic.
It's scary at first, but cancer is much scarier.